So the question is find lowest prime number, not lowest prime number, sorry, lowest prime factor for every number from 1 to n. I'll tell what this means. So let's say n is 10. So we have to find the lowest prime factor of every number from 1 to n. So for 1 there is no prime number, there is no prime factor. For 2 smallest prime factor is 2. For 3 smallest prime factor is 3. For 4 smallest prime factor is 2 because it is the first prime. Smaller means the first prime factor that divides 4. Then for 5 it is 5. Then for 6 it is again 2. Then for 7 it is again 7. For 8 it is 2. For 9 it is 3. And for 10 it is 2. Okay. So this is the question. Is the question clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now let's say we have to think one brute force is you will start from 2, then you will run the loop from 1 to 2 and you will just check here if it is dividing 2 or not, and whatever the first number divides 2 you will just print it. Again the complexity will be n square, right? Now let's say again n is 10 to the power 6, you will get 10 to the power 12, which will take too many times. So let's optimize it. Now again think of the sieve or anything.
Sir, got it.
Can anyone? Okay, I'll just tell if you got it. That's good. Even if you're not got it, let's how can we solve it? So again, I'll just use the same circle approach, and you know how to merge the code. Initially, just assume the prime factor is itself, because one thing you know for sure is like if every number divides itself. Okay, so let's assume here initially every number. Let's use another color. So this is the smallest prime factor. Smallest, let's say you are just storing some number 8, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, or better. Let's assume you don't know anything, and so again you don't know anything, and you know that something 0. Basically, 0 means you don't know anything right now. Okay. So now again you will see that C wala, if you remember, we started from 2. So we saw that 2 is a prime number. So first of all, smallest prime factor of 2 will be 2, that I can mark. Now, I am sure that its multiple's smallest factor will also be 2, because I have not encountered any prime number yet. Okay. So what I will do is, earlier I was just marking 1 and 0. Right now, what I will do is I simply store the smallest prime number inside that array. So 2's multiples are 2 into 1. I already marked it as 2. Now second multiple is 2 into 2, which is 4. So I will mark 2 over here. Then its another multiple is 6. Then I will mark 2 here. And then 8. And then 10. Now I will come to 3. 3 is 0, means 3 is the prime number. So I'll just mark its multiples. Well, I will basically store 3 in its multiples. Now one thing we have to be careful about is, first of all we'll mark 3. Now its first multiple is 3 into 2, which is 6. So you have to, now if you'll update this 6 by 3, this will be wrong, right? So what you have to be cautious is, you will only update those numbers whose prime factor is not calculated yet. So you will see here 6 is already having some value, which is not 0. So means we have already found its number. So let's ignore it. Let's move further. So for 9, you will see here there is no value found yet. So definitely we'll store 3 over here. Now I will go to 4. 4 we have already found, you no need to run for 4 because it is not a prime number. Then you'll go to 5. So 5, first of all you will mark 5 ke upar 5 because it's first factor. Then 5 into 2, you will go to 10. But you will see here there already a number we have found. Okay, so let's ignore. Then come to 6. 6 is not a prime number, already saw it. Then go to 7. 7 is 0. So yes, 7 smallest prime factor will be 7. Then 7 multiple is 14, which is not in our range. So you will ignore. Then 8 is not a prime number, 9 is not a prime number, 10 is not a prime number. So at the end again, you are able to store. Now this array will look like this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 2, 3, 2, 5. I'm just copying the values from over. 6, 2, 7, 8 के लिए it will be 2, 3 and 2. Is this clear? That's how you can simply save the smallest prime factor, the smallest prime number.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now similarly, another variety of this question can be find highest prime factor. It's a homework. It's very simple. It's similarly. So just think about it. Now, one interesting question that we can use is, and it's very powerful. Print all the prime factors of prime factorization, I think we call it. Print the prime factorization of a number n. Basically, there will be q queries and there are queries also. So in every query, there are q queries. In every query, there will be number come that will be x. Let's take n only. So the number will come n, and you have to print the prime factorization of it. What is the prime factorization? So for n is equal to 10, you have to print 2 into, what is the prime factorization? 2 into 5. For 12, it will be 2 into 2 into 3. Which you generally used to do in class 12 or maybe earlier classes. So you have to print this thing. Okay. Now one approach, if you think it can be like this. You already. So now I'm assuming you already have calculated the prime numbers in C. Just one way. It can be a one approach. So you already know what are the prime numbers 2, 3, 5, 7. So you will start from 2. If it is dividing 12, then I will print 2, and I will do it like now it is 6 because 12 by 6. Now I will again check if 6 is getting divided by 2. Yes. So I will again divide and 2. Now it will become 3. Then I will check for 3. 3 will be how much? 3 divided, so 3. And now it becomes 1. So let's leave it. So that's how I can find. I'll take one more example. Let's say this. Now the catch is, let's say we have some 29. Okay. So what's the problem is, you will start from 2, then 3. No one is dividing, and you will get up to 29. And then you will find here, oh shit, it is a prime number. Okay. One thing you can do is like, so you say here, this is already a prime number, let's leave. Okay. But now what will be like 26. So you will start from 2, then you will see this become 13, then 3, 4, and so you are just iterating it again. Something can be like this also. 2 into, let's say there's number is 13 into 13. Okay, let's say 169. So now you want to write the prime factorization of it. You will check from 2, 3, 4, 5 and go on. And at the 13th step, you will get to know your, oh shit, 13 divided is 13. Now it will become 13. You will again check from 13. So you will find the. So are you able to think of this? This is the approach.
Yes, sir.
It's very simple approach. It's a very basic one. But now we have to optimize it. It is very costly. So now how can we optimize it? There's a very tricky thing. So if you remember, we just calculated something like this. We all calculated the lowest prime factor for every number, right? So I'm assuming first calculate all the prime factors of this number. Now, few queries are there. First of all, a number, let's say 20 comes. Okay. Now, inside that array, what is written in 20? So 20 is storing the smallest prime factor of 20, which is 2. So yes, okay, I'll just write 2. Now, I will divide by 20 by 2, 10. Now, I'll go to the 10, basically index of this sieve of 10. So P of 10 is storing 2 because 10 is the smallest prime factor of 2. So 2. Then I'll divide 10 by 2, which is 5. Now I'll go to P of 5, which is storing 5. Now, till I come to P of 1, I'll just print this. So 2 into 2 into 5. And you might be confused. Let's again do it. So this P of I is storing the smallest prime factor, right? Till this, is this clear? We already calculated this part.
Yes, sir. So, but for a bigger number, we cannot create an array, right? For example, 169.
Why? I mean, we can calculate this sieve up to 10 to the power 7, right?
Oh, okay.
So right now we only calculate till 10, but as we know here we can run this till 10 to the power 7. Now
Okay.
let's take an example of 144. Let's say 50. Okay. So you want to print the prime factorization of 50. Now we'll start from P of 50, which is 2. So we'll print 2. Then I'll go to P of 50 by 2, which is 25. Now P of 25 is storing 5. So I'll print 5. Now I will go to P of 25 by 5, which is 5. Which will be 5. I'll print one more 5. And then I'll go to P of 5 by 5, which is 1. So till this is my terminating condition. So till I come to 1, so now I can directly write the prime factorization. Now let's look at the case of 169. So earlier we were starting a loop from 2 to 13. Now I can directly start from P of 169. It will be storing 13. So I'll just print 13. Then I'll divide 169 by 13. So I'll come to P of 13, which is again 13. And then I'll come to 13 by 13, which is 1. So when I come to this, I'll just stop. So that's how I can just, it's very fast basically. So it's like I'm just iterating only on the prime factors. Like for 50, I'm just doing this much time, 2 into 5 into 5, right? Only 3 times. Now if you look at this, close this number, let's say you want to calculate for 2 to the power 64. So I will do it like 20, 20, 20, 22. This is my worst case. It's 64 times. So basically you are calculating in log n time. So now you are able to calculate the prime factorization of q queries in log n time. So for every query n, you are able to find the answer in log n time. And for q queries, it will be q into log n. And if I just find the question and then send you, it is Codeforces, the same question, a simple question, diff to dh question. It was a D question in the Codeforce. I just find the question. I still remember I solved it. So by these simple tricks, even you are able to solve the Codeforces diff to D questions also. So that's why I say here Sieve is very simple, as you must again come to this. See how much simple it is. Not even like where we started. Yes. So this was, it all started from here, which is very simple thing. If you see RP, just we are circling it. But even these simple things, if we solve step by step and move gradually, we are able to solve problems like this. So that's why I always say, yeah, just learn the theory and practice some questions on it. I'll just send you the questions on Slack channel and all this. On when I upload the YouTube video, I'll just describe the questions below. I'm also telling this video.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you give at least 25 to 30 questions for practice of the last all sessions? That will help in building and remembering the concept much more better.
Yeah, I know.
Because sir,
the only problem is here, I solved questions around 3 years back, so I don't remember that much questions. The things that I remember, I definitely tell you. That's why I always say here, whenever you get some questions, just mention on Slack. If 25 people will solve one problem, find one problem and post it on the channel, it will definitely help you all. So I alone cannot definitely help you that much. So you need to come together and you have to help others also. You just Google it.
okay, sir.
Sorry.
Sir, we can create WhatsApp group for this.
There's already a Slack channel. WhatsApp is very not easy to give the personal number. So that's why in the Slack channel you can definitely.
Slack is good, sir. WhatsApp will be informal.
Right. So in Slack there's a very good way of pinning the items. That's why I use Slack. Okay. So that's why again and again write over there. If you are getting some question, please write there. Okay. So
sir, can you please send the link of Slack channel again?
Okay, I'll send in the today's mail. I'm just writing the questions here. Spodge, there is a question. APS. This is the first question I solved after learning Sieve. I still remember. APS, AFS, and div. These are only on Spodge because I used to mostly solve on Spodge, so I remember these things. No SQ something. I'll just when I post the YouTube video, I'll just mention this question in the description, so you can see, and I'll also post this question in Slack. Now just let's discuss one last question, which is very simple but very effective thing. So let's say there are Q queries and you have to find number of prime numbers till n. So there will be a number n and you have to tell how many prime numbers are there between 1 to n. Let's say I give you first, let's say the 3 queries. First query is 10. So answer will be 2, 3, 5, and 7. So 4 prime numbers are there. For 11, it will be 5 because 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. For 3, only 2 prime number exists. Question is clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Sir, please repeat the question.
Okay. Now let's think it. Now you already know sieve, so I'm assuming you have already calculated this sieve. Now what will you do is generally students do is they will run a loop from 1 for I is equal to 1 to
Sir,
n.
can you please repeat the question?
Okay, let's repeat the question one again. So the question is, you have to tell how many prime numbers are there between 1 to n. So there will be
Yes.
few queries. It's not like it will come only once. So there will be few queries, and the number. So few times there will be a number n, and you have to tell me how many prime numbers are there from 1 to n. Like for 10, there are 4 prime numbers: 2, 3, 5, 7. So now what will you do is for every query, what you can do is for I is equal to 1 to I n, if p of I is equal to 0, this p of I is a sieve wala, count plus plus, and you will just print this count. Okay. Now let's again talk about the complexity. It will be for q queries. You are running the loop from 1 to n. It will be again q into n, which is again if n and q are both 10 to the power 5, it will be 10 to the power 10, which will result in TLE. So how to optimize it? Now, whenever the query word comes now, you already have to first analyze ki dekho, see, q will be always there. So you cannot remove this q from the complexity. What you have to do better is here. You cannot run this loop n times. So let's think of something. Now what is the problem here is, so let's say there are q queries. Let's say 10 comes, you check from 1 to 10. Again 10 comes, you are again checking 1 to 10. Again 10 comes. So why don't you think you are repeating something? So we can optimize it. Like, so I'm just making that prime sieve wala area again. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. So 1 is 1, 2 is 0, 3 is 0, 4 is 1, 5 is 0, 6 is 1, 7 is 0, 8 is 1, 9 is 1, and 5. So basically 0 means prime, like you already know, right? So before even starting the queries, what I can do is I can pre-compute this array. What pre-computation means is you are already computing this, let's say pre-compute array. Let's call it PC pre-compute. So this PC of I will tell me prime numbers count from 1 to I. Let's just look at it. So 0 is, till 0 we don't have any prime number that we know. For 1 we don't have any prime number. Now for 2 we have 1 prime number, right? Let's say this is a base case. Okay. Now we saw, when we come to 3, we saw 3 is a prime number. So 1 plus how many prime numbers we have already encountered. So which will be 2. Now for 4, so how many prime numbers are there till 4? So 4 is not a prime number. So we'll just repeat the value because we are not adding any prime number here. Now for 5, दो तो है ही मेरे पास. So basically I still have 2 numbers till 4. I'll just add one more because 5 is also a prime number. It will be 3. Now for 6, we don't get any new prime number. It will again 3. For 7, I already calculated till 1 to 6. I can use that info. So basically, what you are doing is you are running earlier loop from 1 to 7. Now you already have the answer of 1 to 6, right? Which is 3. There are 3 prime numbers till 1 to 6. And 7 is also a prime number, so it will be 4. Now 8 is not a prime number. So 1 to 7 you already have 4 and 8 is not a prime number, 4. 9 ke liye it will be 4, 10 ke liye it will be 4. So now you have already pre-computed this array before even starting the queries. Now let the queries come. So first query come, let's say they ask for tell me the prime number till 8. How many prime numbers are 1 to 8? You can just directly print this. Cout PC of 8. 10 comes, cout PC of 10. So now you are solving each query in O1 time, right? Now let's analyze the complexity. First, we made a sieve n log of log n plus. So plus always come when there is no nesting thing. If there is a nested loop, then into multiply comes, like there is a nested loop, then n into n. If there are two loops, it will be n plus n. So we have first will sieve, then we calculate this pre-computed array. It will be again order of n. Then there will be q queries, which we are giving into O of 1. So we can write it simply q. So now n log of log n is 10 to the power 5 into log of log 10 to the power 5. N is 10 to the power 5 plus 10 to the power 5. It's something like 5 into 10 to the power 5 plus 10 to the power 5 plus 10 to the power 5. 10 to the power 5 we took common, 5 plus 1 plus 1. Now it is 7 into 10 to the power 5, which is less than 10 to the power 8, means it will run in less than 1 second. So you will not get TLE and it will be passed. This pre-computation thing you might require when I will give you today's questions. So use wisely. When do you need it or how can you need it? So yeah, I think that's enough for today. I'll again say you have 1 week. Practice questions on C. Yeah, even if you solve, but 20-30 is a very big number. Obviously, if you are able to solve that much number, it's really good. But even if you solve 7-8 problems now on your own, not copying, just you might take 1 day to solve one problem. That's I used to take. I used to get stuck also for 2-3 days on a single problem. But if you solve on your own 7-8 problems, and if you are definitely stuck, you can always take hints. Not bad to take hints. So just solve 7-8 problems. You will just mug these concepts. Basically, even again, instead of learning theory and again, you will just memorize these concepts. So yeah, I think that's all from today from my side.